What is up, guys? In this video we are going to be looking at importing all our substance painters textures back into Maya. So for that we are first gonna change this into untoned just so it's more clear to see, and the rest of the process, wherever I need to explain something, I'll talk, but it's rather straightforward. I'm gonna be using just these checker boxes. You can use the hypershade, but it becomes a bit more complex, so let's just keep this simple. One more thing that I'd want to point out is that when we apply these textures, you'll notice that any metallic surface is kind of turning black. That's because we don't have any lights in our scene yet. I'm gonna put them in and show you that they do turn gold once you take out some renders. And in fact, I think I will make a basic point light setup and show you how that's done. And while we're at it, I think I'll do the scarf in this video as well, because that's the only part that isn't textured among the clothing. So let's just bring in the ZBrush scarf and UV unwrap that. Then we can go ahead and just texture that as well in Substance. Right now I'm just creating a plane, and I extruded it once and created a bevel in the center, so it's more rounded off, and I just gave more segments to the bevel. This is something I'm doing so we have something as background. You can choose any of these preset settings and it'll change color depending on that. You can even give custom color to this. So if you wanted something like glass, you could go into preset and replace it by glass 100%, but that's going to be transparent. So I'm choosing a setting that's going to be shown inside of the render instead of a black background. So while we take these lights, just make sure you take lights from Arnold and turn off normalize for them, because if normalize is turned on and if you take any render, you're not gonna be able to see anything. I kind of just found that turning it off is better. And if you want to cast multiple amount of shadows, then you can switch on shadows for each and every light you put in. I'm just going to do it for one light since this is just a 3-point light setup. So it's nothing complex. It's not like heavy duty studio lighting or any HDRI. It's just to get some amount of result in your renders. And you can already see that some of the gold is coming in, and you can see that. But we still need a bit more intensity on our light and stuff. So yeah, right. One thing I want to point out is that sometimes when you UV unwrap something and you go into your UV editor and everything is gone, it could be just that you have a different UV set. So I'll show you that you can swap between UV sets as well. You can even copy one UV set up to another UV set. So that's a handy thing to know about. Sometimes you might be taking something into Substance Painter, and there you might realize that, oh my god, all my UVs are missing. They're not actually missing, you're just bringing the wrong UV set. So make sure when you bring things into Substance, they are all on one UV set. That way everything will be textured properly. One more thing I'd like you guys to remember is that if you tweaked anything, make sure that you UV unwrap that again, because just like how I'm doing the face right now, I made some tweaks on it, so it wasn't the same UV unwrap anymore. I had to unwrap it again so I don't have any stretching happening on my textures. That's just something to be careful about. So before we do anything else, let's finish up our scarf, because as you guys might remember, we made a lot of tweaks to that. So I'm just gonna bring in the scarf OBJ that we created inside a ZBrush, and since this is an OBJ file and it's gonna have like its own material name from ZBrush, it kind of just gets randomly assigned. Just gonna make a few quick fixes once more, and then we are going to UV unwrap this and take that UV unwrap into Substance and texture that as well. So let's just watch and see if there's anything that needs explaining. I'll explain it at that time. Oh, and if you guys have any questions with regards to anything, you can leave them in the comments down below, and when I see them, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, don't worry about it. If there was a portion that I skipped, or something that you didn't understand, or if something I didn't feel like I needed to explain, so you can feel free to just ask me that. So you can see right now that I'm applying a checkered texture, and this is so I can see if anything on this object is stretching or not, and it seems like it's gonna do the job for us pretty good. So I don't really need to make any more seams on this. I'm gonna take this, and yeah, I think this is enough. Just gotta delete history, make sure it's center pivoted and there are no transformations like XYZ, and the scale is 1 1 and 1. So you can see that we took the scarf into substance and repeated the process that we did for the clothes. This time we gave this a bit of a yellowish color and took the maps we needed, brought this back into Maya, and now I'm just applying those. We'll take another render to see how it looks.